and watch out as I come through. Busting in your line, cracking helmets in. I bring the pain, so what you gon' do? Stand there and just get shook out ya. So clean out your locker, I'm out to get ya. Cause I just popped ya. You can't take the pressure. You might as well quit cause you just can't last. Madden 2000, put your face in the grass.
Austin Safarian-Jenkins, the first touchdown of Jameis Winston's career.
And your pride in the dirt, so put on a skirt. If you come on the field and don't wanna get hurt, just bruise and beaten, all black and blue. And it's been like that since Madden 92.
We them boys. Holla, holla, holla. We making noise. Holla. Holla, 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 holla.
Welcome back, everybody. It was with your host, Mr. Bucnblake himself, with Bucnblake Sports. Here to talk about yet another home loss to a Chicago Bear team that was below 5-9. Now they're tied with us 6-9. Sorry this is getting out so late. Been a little under the weather lately. Get myself checked out, you know. The Bucs lose 26-21 to the Chicago Bears at home. Lovie Smith 0-2 to the Bears since returning back to the NFL head coaching. Jay Cutler 20 for 27, 156 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Jameis Winston 15 for 29, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, 1 sack for 10 yards. Doug Martin, we'll talk about that later. 17 carries for 49 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 fumbles. Jeremy Langford, 19 carries, 83 yards. And let's say receiving, Charles Sims led the day with 3 receptions and 72 yards receiving and a touchdown. Yet again, come up on rushing and passing. He has 44 carries for 45 yards as well. Well, we start off the game. I got a response from the Sutherland family, from their friend, family friend, Jeremiah George, blocking the punt early in the game. Well, he tries to scoop and score. He tries to grab it with one hand instead of actually scooping and scored. He could have just scooped and fell in. There was nobody around him. But that was a great play on him because the guy blocking him took off too early. Instead of counting to 2 seconds and running off, let Jeremiah George in, and you know what happens from there. Nice block. Yeah, it's a friend of mine, Sutherland family. Well, they got a cute little dollar. I call her Happy Feet. From the movie The Little Penguin, little Happy Feet.
Don't push me, 'cause I am close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head.
Yes, I like that one. I could really get jiggy with that. Lovely.
I'm ready. I got one.
I thought you might, Gloria.
Midnight creeps so slowly into hearts of those who need more than they get. Daylight deals a bad hand to a penguin who has laid too many eggs. That's as far as I got so far.
Oh, yes, lovely. Really lovely.
That's beautiful.
Well, Mumble, since you seem so keen to share.
Mine's sort of a boom and a boom.
You heard that in there?
Do you like it?
Dear, I'm afraid that's not even a tune.
It's not?
No, dear. A tune is like...
So we start off the game early with a 7-0 lead, and then Chicago comes back in the second quarter and scores 13 straight points. So they take the lead on us 13-7. We come back and go up 14-13. Those 2 turnovers, the screen to Doug Martin was a nice play. Fumble, I said, and then later on in the game it was a fumble again. So the guy that's supposed to be leading the league in the rushing ultimately doomed the game for us. Granted, the Jameis Winston pick didn't help either. On the pick play, I think Winston was trying to throw it away. I doubt he was trying to throw that up for grabs. If he did throw it up for grabs, then the other option could have been that he didn't see the safety or the other defender lurking over top, which would have had strategical leverage over Charles Sims, which you saw it did. He caught the pick. As that could be the only thing, or the other thing, he tried to throw it away, and you couldn't get enough on the throw to get it out the end zone or get it out of bounds near Charles Sims because two defenders were in front of Winston. Ultimately, that stopped the drive. We were in scoring position, and this isn't a team that we can afford to make turnovers. Granted, we have a rookie quarterback. We have a lot of young players everywhere on that. Two rookie offensive linemen, which were this. Let me say this now. See, I told you I'd go off on different tandems. Let me say this now. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, we need to draft another lineman." Blase. Oh, this, that. I'm like, where do you get your information from? Are you just literally just coming up with it out of your ass? Because, and you look at the stats, we're the 6th least sacked team in the league. I said I can't remember off the top of my head what we're at in offense. I think it's the 17th offense in the league, 17th offense in the league, and where our running back is 2nd in the league in rushing. And we were fighting for what he was fighting. What we wanted him to fight for was the rushing title. So, with that being said, right there, you're the 6th lead sack team. I said you're 17th overall in offense, and you have the 2nd leading rusher in the league. So what does that tell you? Your offensive line isn't the problem. You would have to say so. You'd be probably the most sacked team like we were last year. We probably wouldn't have a leading rusher, which we didn't have last year. Let's say our offense would be down in the toilet like it was last year. So I just don't get where these people come up with these asinine statements. And like some of the draft consensus keeps saying we're going to draft an offensive tackle. We have Damar Dotson for, I think, at least 2 more years, unless they know something I don't know, or if Cosner doesn't want to come back. And I really appreciate Cosner playing for this team and bringing veteran leadership to this team, helping Ali Marpet out. I would love to have him back. Him and Damar Dotson, Kevin Panfield. One of our greatest strengths this year has been offensive line. I said Evan Dietrich Smith taking it like a man, going to the bench, letting Joe Hawley start, coming in, plugging in at guard. When we had Ali Marpet went out with an ankle injury, that offensive line has gelled together like I have never seen. And like I said, I bashed and talked so much crap about them last year. These guys, they need a standing performance, standing ovation, because these guys have came together in very little time. A veteran guy, Logan Mankins, 2 rookies at left tackle. You got to give him credit. Like Donovan Smith, he's playing left tackle. That means you're playing you're blocking the quarterback's blind side. And we'll see what he turns out to be at the end of the season, where he statistically would rank. But he hasn't given up a whole lot. I don't hear him getting called for penalties like Kenyatta Walker every play. Oh, man, let's stop rambling about that. Let me get back where I was at. I said the guy that you wanted to get the rushing title ended up costing us the game. Like I said, with the pick, with Jameis Winston, I thought he was forcing it out. I thought he might have been forcing out, or he might not have saw the safety and thought Charles Sims could get over, which I believe Charles Sims could have got it over had not the guy been behind him. But that's here or there. It was an interception. Shouldn't have thrown it. Shouldn't have happened that way, but it did. We were in scoring position, and now we aren't. And you gave Bears momentum again. So, also Safarian Jenkins coming up and getting that jump ball at the end of the game. Pretty amazing. He's 6'7". I expect him to do stuff like that. He can make plays like that. Granted, he's out all season, so he's kind of hindered himself from being able to make plays and do things he needs to be doing all season. So if he could stay on the field next season, I will be looking greatly forward to that. And we can plug in some guys to help out with that. So William Golston has, like I said, I call him a dummy sometimes because he plays with such intensity out there. I think he doesn't think about what he's doing. He makes dumb penalties. But he has been another one that's been able to plug in anywhere on the defensive line and play. Right, he's just not a pure pass rusher, but he's been healthy all excuse me. He's been healthy all season, and you can literally play him at the 1, 3, 5, hell, the 7 if you wanted to. Let's say he's played all position. And earlier he came up with a tip pick. Earlier in the game, they got called back because of a legal hands to the face, I believe it was. But that's why I said something I should have been saying all season. If these guys can't get to the ball, do like J.J. Watt said. If you know you're not going to get penetration on the play, stand back and read the quarterback's eyes and put your hands up and make a play. And swat the ball down.
Excuse me. That's a message for
Tim Crowder's. Tim Crowder, that's the name. Big boy came from the not Jaguars. Seattle Seahawks. It's at the top of my head. Excuse me. It'll come to me in a second. Is it? Give me 1 second. Yeah, George Johnson came back. Tony McDaniel. He's been doing that too, putting his hands up because he's 6'7" on the D-line. Yeah, and George Johnson only recorded 1 tackle, no sacks. It's like I heard a guy in the stands say, "Oh, great stout defense, Lovie Smith, blase, great job." I wanted to say, but I told you again, I really don't need to. If you look at that defense, the players that majority of the players, half of the players we have starting on that defense, we're not even drafted. We're not even on people's teams. I don't think Sterling Moore was drafted. Jude wasn't drafted. Or Leonard Johnson wasn't drafted. Well, he's not on the team though. But Mike Jenkins was drafted in the first round. There's a lot of players that we expected a lot from. That I don't know. They weren't known for being playmakers or game changers, and we kind of plugged in guys that were familiar with the system. And I believe the corner play would have been a lot better had the defensive pass rush been stronger at times in need. Granted, I was a victim of that myself, that we've gotten sacks, and people have come up with sacks, but just not when we needed them. If you don't know what I mean by that, is the times that we had a 3rd and 18 or the times we had a 3rd and 22, you notice the teams always picked them up because the quarterbacks had all day to throw in the pocket. We don't get consistent pass rush, and we do need that, and I think that's been the story of the season. So I've been really torn between the two of a corner or a defensive lineman in this year's draft. Again, I still don't understand the offensive tackle consensus, but whatever. It's just we need a consistent pass rush. That defense is made to have a pass rush and take less pressure off these corners and stretching our coverage further out. Hence the Saints play with the left pass up the side. I think it was 3rd and 22 where you found the dude wide open in between the corner and the safety because Drew Brees had all day to throw that. And I think it was like his 3rd read. So I think that will help everything. Pressure up front helps the guys in the back, vice versa. The guys up front help the linebackers, help the cornerbacks, and it all works. It's all one fluid system, especially in a defense that's made to give up short yardage. It's made to not give up big plays and force turnovers. We didn't force any turnovers. No, even the punt's not really a turn, it's just a punt block. And the other thing, like I said, well, I'm going to sum that up. I told you I ramble sometimes. Let me sum that the defense up. Like I said, we got a lot of guys that were undrafted off of teams' practice squads. George Johnson was a guy we had that was undrafted that went to Detroit and had a successful season. Granted, I think it was a lot in part to having Sue and a lot of other D linemen on the line and he come in a rotation versus being a full-time starter. There's a huge difference. Jacquez Smith as well. I was a huge Jacquez Smith supporter, but granted, he started off real well at the beginning of the season and kind of fell to the wayside, got injured, and a lot of other stuff happens, but he's not consistent pass rush either. I think with a good rotation, he can be. I don't think this being his 2nd year, I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. We should keep him on this roster. I'm still mad at Greg Schiano for letting Michael Bennett go. I would have loved to see these guys with Michael Bennett plugged in there, and Gerald McCoy and these guys like that. But we roll with Daquan Bowers, who's playing D-tackle for us now. Decisions that people make and the head coaches we bring in. What you can do now but move forward. When people get upset about Lovie Smith, it's really a 3-year project. Shanahan said it best. It's this 3-year project. When you have a team that's really bad, the average smart fan will know that you have such a bad team that you picked first overall in the draft. Do you really think that overnight this team was supposed to just change overnight and just become a winning team? Highly unlikely, especially since you got holes everywhere. You went 2-14 the first season, but like again, we plugged in guys. We have a back. Mike Glennon had his chances. Josh McCown didn't come up. A lot of it was O-line play, and unlike McCown and Winston, Glennon is not mobile at all in the pocket. God bless his heart, but he's not. You come into this year, you got a rookie quarterback, plenty of chances to win these games, plenty, but we found ways to lose them. Penalties on key third downs, like I said before, inconsistent pass rush, stupid penalties, and the one that nobody's ever talking about is our special teams have killed us this season. Have killed us. I said no punt returns. I said Bobby Rainey, God bless his heart. I said he's a guy that's not a punt returner, but he did the best he could at the beginning of the season. Y'all remember, I gave him props on kick returning and punt returning. He's not a punt returner, though. He did the best he could for what he did. So I'm not going to bash Bobby Rainey being forced into a position that we were lackluster at. And our kicking situation's been ridiculous. The punter hasn't been too bad. He's been all right. Our kicking situation has been ridiculous. I mean, we still missing field goals. Connor Barth has been doing his thing. Except, we missed a couple field goals in key moments. Like I said, it's just, I think special teams has cost us at least 2 or 3 games. Now I'll say definitively two games it cost us. So what that would put us at 8 wins right now. If you guys remember the Texans game. So with those things, you can't just say, the coaching thing's not working. You got to look at what's happening here. I don't know if you want to call it sophomore slump with Mike Evans. He's going to have 1,000 yards receiving, but he cannot make comments like my bad gains are 150 yards receiving. Yes, asshole. Excuse me. I said yes. I said because you have 150 yards receiving, but you dropped all the passes that would have won us the game. I said I hope you understand that. I don't mean to curse at you like that, and I normally don't. But it's just some of the stuff people say these days, and you want to call yourself a team player, or you're here for the team, or you say your bad days are 150 yards. No, you just did not capitalize when we needed you to. When it was 3rd and 7, you dropped a pass that could have put us in field goal range and gave us a first down. You drop a touchdown pass where you're wide open with the defender behind you because you say your hands are sweaty from the gloves. Whatever excuse you made it may be. Vincent Jackson's guilty of it too. You drop passes that we need. We need it. I said the 150 yards. I mean, that's nice and all for personal reason, but what is that doing for us as a team? We're 6-9. We're 6-9. And I'm not really pissed off about that. I just want people to understand the difference between that. Well, he had a good day. Well, yeah, if you're fantasy, I could really give a rat's behind about that. But catch the things, make the plays that we need to make to win games. I don't care about stats. I don't care if Doug Martin's second in the league in rushing. As long as he gets the yards that we need and come up with plays when he needs to come up with the plays, that's all I care about. And at the end of the day, that's what all the players should care about, because when you do, it will show you will get paid off of it. People will come through for you when you come through for the team. So, where's I at before? Just need to make the plays that we need to make. And we didn't make a lot of them. And that was on all fronts. Defense, offense, special teams. They're all one thing. All one intricate system. one cog, one system. They all work together. It's not one. It's not blaming on Jameis Winston. It's not blaming on head coach Lovie Smith. I think he's done a fine job of what he's done with this team because I can see this team moving forward. Like I say, if you're going to be these fans, I don't consider you fans. I made that clear in the preseason. You're really not fans if you can't see what's really happening. We got to get this team right for this young QB. This young QB wants to win. So we got guys on this team that don't want to win, then we need to get rid of them, move on, or get new guys to come in there and move on. And that's Lovie Smith's job and Jason Licht's job to get these guys in here that want to win and want to be successful on his team. And I believe that's what they're doing. They're not going backwards with a lot of it. Yeah, we got a lot of young players that are making bad plays and not coming up when we needed to come up. I don't really blame all that on coaches. Granted, what I said earlier, we're putting guys that on any other team wouldn't start or wouldn't be in these key positions in intricate games. That's where a lot of what I'm saying is coming from. We got undrafted, unproven players playing in places that people wouldn't even imagine them playing. Bradley McDougall guy, undrafted as well, been playing great for us. He hasn't given up too much. I give props to people they've earned their props and played hard. Like Sterling Moore, I think Sterling Moore can be a reasonable corner in this league. I really do. And he's handled himself with class. He's taken on every challenge and never complained, never makes excuses. That's the kind of guys you need on this team. So like I said before, I'm confused really about what should get a corner or should we get a defensive lineman. Because I really want the boy from Florida, Hardgroves. We've been needing a corner for years on this team. We keep taking shots at defensive linemen and we keep failing. Granted, 2 of them from Clemson. Gaines Adam, God rest his soul, and Daquan Bowers. Daquan Bowers for Michael Bennett. I'll just keep saying that. Just remember that. Daquan Bowers for Michael Bennett. Thanks, Greg Schiano. Oh, man. So, with everybody who watches this broadcast today, don't be discouraged about the things we've done, the things we've been through this season. That was our last home game. It's been real rocky for us. Like I said, we let some get away that we shouldn't have let get away. But we have a bright future. Just like Charles Woodson said in Oakland, you got brighter days to come. They got a rookie QB as well, got receivers lined up. They're a lot like us as well. Granted, they have a little better pass rush, proven pass rushers on their team. They want Alden Smith to come back, but he'll be suspended. But Khalil Mack and guys like that. You got it's a building process, and you got to let it happen. You got to let it flourish. You can't wait for everything to happen at once. Everybody wants to live in the moment right now. Sometimes some things got to develop, like a football team. It doesn't happen overnight unless it's rigged. So when this team finally gets it together, the guys that were here and sat there and waited for it, it will be so much more gratifying and relieving that you sat around and watched it happen. Because I really believe that's going to happen. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Bucs fan. I'm saying that because we're doing the things that I said you need to do to be successful in this league. Like I said, you don't believe me? Watch my old tapes. Established head coaches, established quarterbacks. Great offensive coordinator, Dirk Cutter, thank you for coming over to us from Atlanta. Atlanta, I feel bad for you for getting rid of Dirk Cutter. And I like the fact that people said that Dirk Cutter should be a head coach. He said, I am happy with my job. Thank you, because we need you. Jameis Winston needs you. This team needs you. Thank you for staying. I really hope you watch this and you hear how thankful I am for the things that we brought in and the movements that we made. Because you've made players. You made me seem not a liar for guys that I've said that I know it can play. Adam Humphries, Charles Sims, I've preached several times, and Austin Safarian Jenkins. Like, you got to stay on the field, dude. I can't defend you if you can't be on the field. I know what you can do. I watched you at Washington. You've got to stay on the field. You got to not make bonehead plays, and you got to make plays for this team and show these people that you mean business. That's what we're waiting for. I know what's going on, but that's what a lot of them are waiting for, and they want to jump on. They want to be a part of it, but they can't because they're getting heartache and pain like a bad relationship. So, with that being said, I'm going to wrap up. Oh, so John, we missed you at the game. I helped you regulate the section. Yeah, you know, as always, when the guys show up like a little later in the game, you always got the other team sitting over in the front row like they own the seats there, so they move up. Yeah, they had, Mike Jenkins' mom was there, and we had a good time out there. They brought a bunch of the kids out. We had a good time. So, John, I know if you're watching this, we had a good time. It wasn't the same without you. I had some Bear folks around me. He's talking some trash. Not bad. It was just all love. Talking some trash, but we missed you out there, John. We needed your strong voice, your leadership, your strong black man. I think that's pretty much it. I think I've rambled on just about everything now. And I'll end this as I always end this. You're the master of everything you do in your life. What you do with it is strictly up to you. And that is in all things in life. Then to people that, you know, I think about with my friend dying and all that. I say, people, I hope some people an apology or something. I need to be better myself. As we all have things in our life that we need to ratify and maybe make better. The only difference is that when you know something's wrong with you, you need to. It's either you know it and you just ignore it, or you don't know it. And maybe somebody that loves you needs to point it out. And we need to stop being so sensitive with people when they tell us things that we don't want to hear. We get so definitive. We can't tell nobody nothing. This is getting beyond football now. I can talk about politics with this all day. But well, maybe do more stuff like that after the season. I got to think about what I'm going to do after the football season. I'll come back and give you guys like draft thoughts of me and see what I can do, see where I'm at with these top scouts, reporters, these professional scouts that don't know crap, that give their personal feelings of what actually is true. Remember, I say that as well. What's your opinion and what's actually true are two separate things. All right, let me get out of here, guys. Thank you for watching. Thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for being here for all the home games. We got one more week to go. Give you the final wrap up. I'll try to give you some clips and stuff. I'll make the last one pretty interesting. But thanks again, guys, for staying with me all season. Guys, giving me help and all that. So I'll see you next week. God bless.